All right. Hello, everybody. It is Friday, as they say, and exciting times. Feel free to comment. Let me know what's going on in your world, in your life. I wanted to hop on today and share a little bit about AI art. Um, Growing up, I didn't ever feel like I was a painter, didn't ever feel like I was a uh, painter or a drawer. Like I didn't feel like I could do pencil sketches. I was a photographer. I felt like I was a pretty amazing photographer. And as many of you may know, I've been a drone pilot. And so I've had an interesting perspective on art that way. But I've come across in the last year, of course, 2023, I think one of the things that it will be known for is kind of the year of the AI. It's when AI kind of woke up, when these computers started doing amazing things. You could have conversations with ChatGPT. You could ask it to be your writing assistant and write things for you. And there's these art programs, all kinds of AI that does all kinds of things. But I wanted to share with you a little bit about this art, this AI art, and some of the pictures, videos, etc., that it can do just in a matter of seconds or minutes, compared to what might take one hours or days to paint an amazing an amazing painting. So I wanted to come up with three ideas of things to create, and I'll kind of go through the process of how I do that. So of course it's November. Happy November, everybody. We're getting close to the end of the year here. Holidays are coming up. Thanksgiving and end of the year holidays are coming up pretty quick before we know it. So wanted to first of all do a picture of a family at Thanksgiving dinner. So we're gonna do that. And then I had a dog. My dog growing up, his name was Sunny, and he was a black and white haired collie. And so we're going to create a black and white haired collie. We're going to kind of recreate my dog Sunny. And then we're going to do just something kind of interesting, like some like fiction type painting. And I was thinking, let's do one of the books that I read growing up was The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, where there's elves and wizards and um, what do they call those, halflings, all those kind of things. So I thought I would create a picture of Gandalf the Grey in the middle of Times Square. So we're gonna pull Gandalf and put him into modern times. So let's create those three pictures. And if you've never, maybe you're familiar with Midjourney. Midjourney is a popular AI art program. One that I like to use is called Leonardo.ai, which is very similar to Midjourney, but it's free. So Leonardo, so just like the famous uh, artician. I don't know if that's a word, artician, the famous artist. And I believe he was also a scientist. I believe he came up with some inventions, as I remember too. So that is Leonardo. So let's create those three things. Now, first of all, the program is Leonardo.ai. Now I'm going to try it the first way. I don't know if this first way is going to work. If not, I'll pop it up a second way. We'll share the screen. But again, I'm on Be Connected, and depending on the website, the problem is I don't know if this is going to work. I usually use Google. No, that's not going to work. So that's okay. It's always good to have a backup plan, right? When at first you don't succeed, have a backup plan and go with that, right? So I'm going to share my screen here. So share my screen. Entire screen, allow. Okay, so you should be seeing my screen now. Okay, so yep, it's showing my screen. Now the interesting thing is, as you look at this, as you pull it up, there's all kinds of cool pictures here, and you can actually click on each one, because if you're familiar with ChatGPT as an example, you're familiar with what a prompt is if you've used that before. And so, for example, this picture here, it's kind of this Japanese painting, second on the left at the top. There's like a mountain and a tree and a kind of a lake, a river running down. And so I'm going to click on that. And first of all, it's going to have a prompt. And in this case, it's kind of a big paragraph. It starts off, high quality, in the graceful tradition of Japanese painting, a stunning depiction of the first sunrise over Japan's iconic Mount Fuji. So this is basically Mount Fuji. But it's a big, long paragraph. There's also something called a negative prompt. A negative prompt, one of the things that you'll find if you use this a little bit is that sometimes it creates, because it's AI, and sometimes it gets confused, is the way I put it. Sometimes it gets confused on what it's drawing or painting, and so it will put a arm, for example, right in the middle of someone's back or something like that. And so you can say things like, deformed limbs or something like that, or bad anatomy, floating limbs, disconnected limbs, different, out of focus, different things like that. And so what I'm going to do first is we're going to do the idea that we talked about with a Thanksgiving picture. So family, let's say traditional family having Thanksgiving dinner, big living room, candles. Let's just see what that does. So you put in instructions or a prompt, whatever you can imagine, and then you see what it does. So we're going to say that traditional family having Thanksgiving dinner, big living room, and candles. I don't know why I said living room. I probably should have said dining room, but there you go. Okay, so let me okay, so there's one example. Their noses are kind of interesting, but that looks pretty good. There's a beautiful pumpkin, candles in the background, like a fireplace. So, and then let's see. Okay, that one's not bad. It looks like maybe grandpa and uncle, or so yeah, so that's a typical Thanksgiving dinner. So you could use any one of those you like, but you can see how that instantly created a Thanksgiving dinner. Now let's go on to the collie. So collie, am I spelling that right? Let me go over to Google, make sure I'm spelling that. Is it dog? Collie, dog. Oops. Collie is how you spell it. Okay. Collie, black and white haired, running on giant ranch. We had a big kind of a farm / I guess you could call it a ranch back in the day. It was more of a fairly big property. at one point when I was a kid, and that's when I had this collie named Sunny. And interestingly enough, I had horses. We didn't really have cows. We didn't really have cows, but that reminds me something of what Sunny. Of course, this has a little bit of brown. I don't think Sunny had brown. So that something like that. So my dog looks something like this, running out on the property. There were mountains in the background, so I would say that that's kind of Sunny there. Now the good news is there's not like extra arms or legs, or the legs aren't really twisted or looking very strange. But that's very similar to what my dog Sunny looked like. So yeah, so we've done the Thanksgiving dinner, we've done Sunny. Now let's say, because this is back in the day, let's say we wanted to make it, instead of just that almost looks like a photo, and these look pretty realistic, right? Looks pretty realistic. But let's say we wanted to do a pencil sketch, because you can do this different ways. So rather than just a regular something that looks like a photo, let's redo this as a pencil sketch. And as you can see, oh, and that's weird. This one's like basically a pencil sketch with a little bit of colored head to it, and one of the legs is kind of colored, but it's mostly black and white. That one, the one eye looks kind of weird, but that's very similar. Other than that right eye, that looks very similar to what Sunny looked like too. But I would say that's very, other than a little bit too much brown, that is very similar to what Sunny looked like back in the day. Unfortunately, Sunny met a tragic death, and was burned. I'm not going to. So for some reason, it pops up NSFW, which of course that means not safe for work. A lot of times it will pop that up, and it's actually not safe for work. In other words, it is safe to show. But I'm not going to chance it because I'm live right now. I'm not going to chance it just in case it did something crazy. I'm not going to chance it, but it's probably safe. I'll probably look at that afterwards, and it's probably safe to view. But because it says this NSFW, that means it may not be safe for work. In other words, could be a rated R or something photo. So I'm not going to pull that up since I'm live right now. So let's do this. So Gandalf the Wizard, fireworks in Times Square, and let's say aerial view. Let's say this is like a drone aerial view, Mavic Pro. That's the type of drone that I use the most often. So we're going to do this picture of Gandalf the Wizard, fireworks in Times Square at night, aerial view Mavic Pro. So we're gonna this is gonna be Times Square, Gandalf the Wizard, but we're gonna imagine that a drone, or that it's an aerial view, that we're up in the air with a drone taking this picture. Of course, I guess you could be on a helicopter or something too, but we'll specifically say Mavic Pro as if it's the vantage point of that drone. So let's see what this comes up with. So Gandalf the Wizard in Times Square. All right, so we have kind of the regular fireworks. Of course, you couldn't tell if that's 4th of July or if it's one of Gandalf's fireworks show down there, but that's as if you were looking at New York from above. And although this is really big, of course, Gandalf the Wizard would have had this ability to make it look like he was big on top of a building or tower or mountain or whatever. He had the ability to make his fireworks look like this. So that could be fairly realistic, that he could do that. And this is kind of the same thing. It's kind of a giant Gandalf wizard, but then he would have had that ability. And then here we have, again, this could be 4th of July at night. So that's what it would look like up above Times Square. And then, of course, you have the lakes and so forth in the background. So I think this is my favorite, because even though it's not very realistic as far as the size, because Gandalf would have been a little tiny wizard in compared to these big buildings, but he would have had the ability to make himself, project himself to be giant like that. And so there you have it. So that is Leonardo.ai. So it's Leonardo, Leonardo.ai, just like Leonardo da Vinci. Basically, Leonardo da Vinci, it's spelled Leonardo.ai. And that's actually a free program. So you can actually try that for yourself. And then if you have, pictures that you're wanting to come up with, basically anything that your brain can imagine, you can create paintings, pictures, anything like that. And so there you have it. So that's Leonardo.ai at work. Feel free to reach out. I can support you in getting set up if you'd like to do that. You can also do a Google search for Leonardo.ai. It is free to use. You do have to request access, and that could take some time, a day, day, or I think it usually takes a day or two, but it could take longer now. I don't know. I haven't. It's been 4 or 5 months at least since I started with that. I think it's almost been about 5 months, and so things may have changed since then. It may be a lot more popular. But as far as I know, you just request access, and within a day or two, you'll get an email that will say that you have access and you can get started. So that is Leonardo.ai, creating AI art. Have a great weekend, everybody. And again, I'm with LI Training. I do social media marketing, supporting you in any kind of a business that you have, or if you don't have a business, if you'd like to start a business, I have some great ideas for that. So feel free to reach out. Lane Dockstader, LI Training. And I primarily focus on LinkedIn, which of course is the largest business networking group. It's the largest business networking group with over 980 million people on LinkedIn. At least half of those are on at least once a month. About 48%, so almost half of those. And with LinkedIn, it's the oldest social media platform. It's been around for 20 years as of May 5th. This year had its 20-year anniversary. And then I also support people in promoting themselves and their business on a new platform called Be Connected. I'm super excited about it. I'm actually showing that to you right now, where you can do live streams. It also has a Zoom type system that's just super cool. You can pop up pictures, you can pop up videos, you can pop up pictures. It has kind of a internal PowerPoint. It's like almost like Zoom to the 10 with a PowerPoint that is super cool. Not really a PowerPoint, but an internal type PowerPoint where it pops up pictures, videos, websites, cool things like that. So if you'd like a demo of that, reach out, send me a message, and we can hop on a video call kind of like this. But I can show you exactly how that works, and I can get you a link where you can try it for yourself. And it starts free. You can have a paid version if you want some of the bells and whistles, but it starts absolutely free. So that's Be Connected. So Lane Dockstader, LI Training, everybody have a great rest of your day. Have your best day ever and best weekend ever. And we'll talk to you soon.